fire, fire, fire. Oh, I just watched that while making dinner. It's a good one. Which one? The Ackman one? Dude, it's so good. I haven't watched it, so don't spoilers. It's 15 minutes long though. Also, Matt Season. Oh, he's such a sweetheart. Not dinner, Linner. Matt Caesar's a sweetheart.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody? It's the Act Man, cool guy. Face. Now I'm a believer. I used to PvP with Matt Season Classic WoW. Yeah, I didn't get rank 14. He's a cutie pie. Honestly, nerds are just nerd men are just a different freaking type, man. We got Grand Marshal together. How'd you do that? I thought you were EU or something. I thought you weren't NA.
What's up, everybody? This is the Dark Urges man here, and today
Dark Urges. What the? Why is his name Dark Urges? I don't concede to the Dark Urges a lot. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't give in to the fucking forge.
I want to take you down by the river. Larian Studios has lit the internet on fire with their latest dating simulator. One that
I'm dating a bear, apparently. Fuck, man.
gives Super Seducer a run for its money. By all accounts, Baldur's Gate 3 is a slam dunk success, and it's now the highest rated PC game on Metacritic ever.
Decidedly good. Decidedly good choice as well. Like, I can't imagine having the best rated PC game of all time, and you've only been out for like what, like a month now? Less than a month. I think it's been like 3 weeks.
PC game on Metacritic ever. There's a lot of games on PC. It has taken one of the top 10 spots for most concurrent players on Steam. On August 6th, apparently the game accounted for 28% of total.
Posted a cross-player engagement tracker this past Sunday. Baldur's Gate play accounted for nearly 28% of total players spent on Steam. Ah! Oh, fuck. Oh, my lord. Is it really time already for—
Good evening, Smuggle Pat. It's a good feeling to support my favorite stinky fox, Smuggle Love.
Thank you, Fusion. You're so sweet. Welcome back for 5 freaking months again. Thank you. I just pissed myself. Good. You're ready now. You're ready. We're watching Baldur's Gate 3 is way too good, apparently, to the point where devs start crying and pissing and shitting their pants about it.
Player time on Steam. Pardon my French, but that's fucking crazy. As far as I've played, Baldur's Gate 3 has been an incredible game, and it is very refreshing.
This squirrel might be the single most adorable creature you can recall in all your stunted memory.
Oh.
It would be ever so twee if it were climbing a tree.
The voice acting is so crazy. I watched the TikTok of the outtakes of this woman narrator who did the voice acting like for this whole narration thing, and she's so funny. She's such a nerd. I love watching shitty devs piss themselves because their work is bad. Yeah, good. Thank you, Magnum Kong. Wait, Magnum Kong. What's your name, that?
Twee?
What? I've talked to the squirrel and I've never had that happen to me before. Hello? What was that? You just beat the shit out of the squirrel!
Do you always take on such terrifying foes?
No.
Bro! I've played this game through 3 times up to this point. I've never had to the urge to freaking kick the squirrel.
No studio is more deserving of this kind of praise than Larian, who has toiled in the mines for far too long. But we're not reviewing the game today. Instead, I want to focus on this small pocket of control.
This is a great thing about using a singular game to set expectations for everyone. Developing titles as a genre isn't useful and is instead foolhardy. Fucking cry about it, man. It's so lazy. Why can't you just be like, yeah, this is an amazing game. I want my game to aspire to be just as good. Why can't they just praise it? Magnum Kong! Thank you for the Prime Gaming! Thank you so much! Thank you! Let's go! Enjoy your emotes, man. Cope Save Mauled? Oh yeah, absolutely. Fuck that shit. Like a lot of people, I'm deeply excited about what the lovely folks at Larian accomplished with Baldur's Gate, but I want to gently and preemptively push back against players taking that excitement and using it to apply criticism for raised standards to RPGs going forward. Oh my god. Alistair, bro, thank you. For AAA studio, yes, this level of expectation is warranted as long as it's not a drop on a small indie studio. Small indie studios do a better job than most AAA companies. Let's be real at this point. You can't expect the multi-billion-dollar company to realistically outdo an indie company. It's impossible. They just don't have the resources or manpower. Darn tootin' dwas. The billions of dollars. Why can't people just enjoy the dang game? Well, it's just sad. Like, why can't you just be happy for Larian? I don't know. It's not even lazy devs. It's just like, I don't want to work like that. That's not how it works. Who do you work for? I wonder. Writer for Stranger Things VR, Hypnospace Outlaw, BAFTA. Creators of Space World. What? Stranger Things VR? What is that? What is this game? I've never heard of it. Is it good? Pre-order now limited. Coming fall 2023. Your game isn't even out yet. Shake my head. That is just sad. I'd want this person to see that they should aspire to have their fucking game be as good as and successful as Larian. Thank you, Libertusco. It's crazy. If Double A Studio just put out a Goated game that only has a couple of funny bugs instead of an unfinished game, why can't we expect AAA studios to do the same? I actually was playing through, let's just say I went into a submersible and there was a bug that happened to me after I finished a certain part of the story. And I was like irritated, but like the few bugs that I've experienced on Baldur's Gate haven't detracted from the overall story to the point where I become unimmersed and annoyed. You know what I mean? Like, the bugs exist, but they're not excruciatingly bad. I've always been able to reload a game and just be able to deal with it, you know? The year of the RPG? Definitely. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like crying about like crying about a success just shows that you can't just be happy for someone else. I really like the nude bug in PG3. We fixed it! I haven't run into any serious bugs, only a couple minor visual bugs. Yeah, I've seen stuff like, you know, the camera clips through the floor because of like how the game works and stuff like that. I've had a moment where my NPC bugged out and I had to reload the game, but like overall, I don't think it's that bad. It has bugs, of course. Over 9,000 individuals worked on D4. That is 8,600 worth of BG3. Just some fun numbers. 9,000 people? Really? Hello, Galaxy Edit. Hi. Half the dev team is trying to figure out how to get loot boxes into the game. There's gonna be bugs. There's no loot boxes in D4 yet. Pretty sure he might be already intimidated by the quality of BG3 and knows his game won't deliver. I'm not trying to sandbag on this person's work, but it's like, why can't you just be nice and happy and say, hey, I'm really happy that this RPG is doing really, really good. And just like take the experience of being a developer and looking at the way that people are enjoying a game and thinking, hey, I want to make that game that I'm working on as good as this game that I'm looking at. The only thing BG3 should have done to devs is make them want to make better games. That's it. Exactly! Like, people used to aspire to be like the WoW killer, you know? But in the end, nothing's ever killed WoW except itself. Actually, I think WoW became WoW because they wanted something that wasn't EverQuest and RuneScape. Because those games came out before, right? I think. I don't remember if RuneScape did, but I know EverQuest was... WoW was the reason EverQuest was the reason WoW popped off because EverQuest was too hard. The only thing BG3 should have done... Wait, no, I read that already, shit. Stupid ADD. The only battle pass I accept is Halo Infamous because they can be purchased whenever, only $10 and they're yours to keep, not time limited. Yeah! That seems fair. EverQuest was too grindy, especially... Well, you have to take into consideration, Polter, a lot of people still love EverQuest, and that's perfectly fine. They have their own little game that they can hang out on, but WoW was the casual-friendly MMO that they made. WoW poached a bunch of EverQuest devs. I think poached is a strong word, but perhaps. I don't know the legality of saying poached. Unless, you know, it's written somewhere in an article that I could read. But I know a lot of people that used to work for EverQuest came to World of Warcraft. Eventually, even, like, when it was released, they started, like, flocking over towards WoW. Eldering had 350 employees? Holy crap! Yay! No!
We are poggies.
Oh, I'm Broccoli. Hi! Thank you so much. How are you? Well, those were literally EverQuest players. They hated a lot of things. Yeah, no, fucking Teagle was, not Teagle. Mr. Jeff Kaplan used to be an EverQuest guild player. He wasn't a dev, I don't think, but he enjoyed the game a lot, and then he just eventually said, fuck it, I'm gonna make my own game with my own, with my own blackjack and my own hookers.
Contrarians still holding out at Helm's Deep. I want to talk about this IGN video. Baldur's Gate 3 is causing some developers to panic.
Why are you panicking? That this gonna set new expectations for fans. Explore why fans feel this way, why they're celebrating games like Baldur's Gate and Elden Ring. What are you panicking for? Just make a good game. Oh no! I have to make a good game. It's just so funny to me. I don't know. Like, just let them let them cook. You know. This is someone actually made a good game. Impossible. Oh my god, this is terrifying.
And the video it's pretty good. Wait, is this IGN? Are you sure? It's filled with
IGN
great
making a
takes
good
and actual
video?
insight and commentary into the game industry, and not just giving away 9 out of 10 scores to every new release.
Developers should be looking at what Baldur's Gate 3 did and trying to replicate.
I fucking love being an owlbear, by the way. It is so good. I've top roped people. I've top roped people so many times as a massive fucking bear. Alright, I'm gonna go pick up that sushi. I expect to see this video on YouTube. Don't worry, I got Polter on it.
where they can, not jumping up to defend games that are cramming in practices that fans are getting fed up with.
He's right.
Yeah.
But there's this sentiment going around that Baldur's Gate 3 it's just an unreasonable standard for triple.
Oh no, did this guy make more tweets? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh no, wait, no, this is the same one, never mind.
Studios to meet. So we're gonna talk about that, because ladies and gentlemen, the companions in Baldur's Gate 3 are an irresistible thirst trap. Excuse
me! Not on my
Luckily for me,
screen! Not on my Christian channel, no kissing.
Resist their temptations and quench my thirst with Air Up, the sponsor of today's video. Have you ever wanted to drink plain water but have it taste like flavored? Well, now you can. Air Up has a specially designed water bottle that flavors water through scent alone. If you're someone who doesn't drink a lot of water during the day, you get a bit dehydrated, or you're worried about artificial sweeteners and extra sugar, this is
I'll
the
leave it up
perfect
because it's
solution for you.
Man, okay?
The pods are also super easy to activate. You can just pull up when you want flavor and push down if you want normal water. It's also great if you want to cut back on soda. We all crave sugar, and this is one of those really...
Yo, that's disgusting. Water? Give me my fucking Coca-Cola.
Cool science tricks that can help you lessen your sugar intake. So go order your special Air Up water bottle today using the link in the description and pinned comment. And don't forget to use the code ACTMAN to get 15% off your entire purchase. And thank you, Air Up, for sponsoring this video.
And now for something completely different.
All right, back to the video.
Ever since the days of Horse Armor and Oblivion, parts of the video game industry have gotten progressively greedier as time goes on. It's something that a lot of gamers are getting increasingly tired.
Wait. What was it? Oh my god, I watched a video on this Red Dead Redemption port or whatever. It's actually insane how bad it looks compared to the original. They actually somehow made it look worse than the Switch port, which was like, you know, an upgrade generationally. They're charging full box price. It's so bad.
Greedier as time goes on. It's something that a lot of gamers are getting increasingly tired of. So naturally, as Baldur's Gate 3 was about to come out, we all wondered what the catch would be. Are there gonna be any dumb microtransactions? No. There are no...
I was really worried that the game would be like unpolished, but it is, despite all the little bugs that I found personally through like my, I don't know, like 80 hours of playtime, I think it's a pretty polished game.
In-game purchases in our game. We believe in providing a complete and immersive gaming experience without the need for additional purchases. Enjoy the game to its fullest without any additional costs or microtransactions.
I don't believe it!
This can't be right. Is this the prince who was promised? Well, the game's got to be fucking terrible then. We've gotten to a point where it feels like in the AAA gaming space, like outside of Nintendo, the idea of video games being complete at release and just...
Let's just remind ourselves that D4 needed at least another, like, I don't know, 6 to 8 months in the oven, and they're releasing microtransactions in the first season of the game. Like, it is a $70 game, and they're just topping it off and sprinkling it with microtransactions beforehand. New transmogs, $20! D4's crazily monetized. I thought maybe at one point I was logging into a mobile game. I'm not even joking. It's crazy. They push literally an ad for a transmog the second you log in. About Nintendo games being complete. Some are hit or miss. Some are hit or miss.
Just a one-time purchase. That idea is almost extinct. Even games that are just supposed to be single player can be completely broken at release. Well, with ethics like this, Larian, it's no wonder some game devs don't want it to become the new standard. Nah, just keep pounding those microtransactions in. Just keep shoveling that crap in there. You know what my first reaction is when a new game comes out? Where are the slot machines?
They can't do that anymore, though. At least not with Blizzard. That's why they made Overwatch too, because they had to remove the boxes. And now you pay $40 for a skin.
How can I gamble more money? I think the industry deserves a game like Baldur's Gate 3, and we deserve a developer like Larian. The biggest problem with microtransactions and in-game purchases...
$20, not $40? Some of the bundles are $40. I've seen it. And then they say, oh, it's 30% off at value. It's like, what value? You've never released this skin before. How can you freaking say it's 30% off? Yeah, save 50% from this bundle that has never costed anything else. That's what I'm saying. It's not fucking $20. It's $40. I think someone said, I think it was Poulter, they said that it's illegal for you to make discounts on a product that you've never released before because it's like not consumer friendly.
Is that it always affects the core
In Germany,
gameplay,
I think, yeah.
usually in a negative way. Sometimes companies end up implementing anti-player design to then charge the players to make the game better.
Wait, Metal Gear Survive's extra character save slots cost $10? Maybe I should make a video game. Alana Waifu? Yeah. That is... Maybe I should do that, you know? You want an extra Alana Waifu in your harem? Then you gotta cough up $10.
Less tedious or more customizable. Think about how Halo Infinite took away your ability to choose your own colors in order to sell that back to you. Like try to imagine Baldur's Gate 3 as a live service game with a battle pass. Jesus Christ.
Make all the characters have like companion skins and only the best, coolest one are locked behind like $60 or like months and months and months of game time, even though the game can only be replayed so many times. Alana dates some, use real life money to take her on dates. Yeah, and that money gets deposited right into my bank account. Thank you so much. I need a yacht, by the way. I am Alana Kotick. I've got devil horns shooting out of my head right now as I'm speaking.
Okay, well, now Larian has to figure out ways to provide continuous content, so they likely come up with easily copy and pasted content and quests for new seasons. You know, how do players unlock tiers in the battle pass? How do you incentivize them to spend more money? What do you put in the battle pass to make it worth completing?
Thank you, Dead Gun! I appreciate it so much. You're awesome. Enjoy your emotes. Poggers! Yeah, a lot of microtransactions. My feet come with grippers, but if you don't pay $10, you're covered up and you gotta pay $10. Oh my god, I'm such a genius. It's a paywall to look at my feet. You can only do so many long rests in an IRL day unless you swipe your wallet. Oh, Kaius, that's a genius idea. That's genius! Yeah, you can only get like 5 long rests a day, and then every other one is like $1 extra. Oh
and
my!
On the questions go.
That's
You see,
evil.
without a live service or a battle pass, Larian doesn't have to mold and shape the game to fit that puzzle. All they had to do was focus on making the best video game possible, and I think they've done a bang-up job. And then the other thing with in-game purchases is you now have to take content out of the game that could have been unlocked by simply playing it, and you now have to resell it. Right? Another thing that really makes Larian's games stand out as RPGs is that they don't really make filler or fluff. Quests aren't handled like a checklist of chores.
Collect a gallow vine found nearly anywhere. You know what the sad part is that in D3 they didn't have quests like this. It was like a little bit more, I don't know, there were like a few scattering of ow. Holy crap! $10.
In paying for the chat.
Oh, why are you paying? He paid the chat. Thank you, Fusion. It's very sweet of you. Free feet? No. Okay, fine. Because you've fine. You can look at my feet for $10. I'm not taking off the shoes though. That's impossible. Anyway, I am literally being a microtransaction right now. To the point, maybe I should have like my booba paywalled as well. That would also work. That was the deal? I can't take off my shoes. I'm sorry, my model won't let me. That's another like $50. I'm kidding. I actually can't. I can't take off my shoes for real. It's not part of the toggles. maybe another model. What the heck? Sneak attack, thank you for the follow. No, sure as your big heart. Okay, there you go. There's my big heart.
We appreciate you.
Aw, hey, this is so sweet. Thank you. Thank you so much. Put a blanket over the booba. Chat pays €5 for 10 minutes of booba. Yo. That's crazy. You guys are evil. Giving me all sorts of ideas. Holy crap. Paywall meat hammer? A tail shake? Yeah, I mean, at least that's free. Sort of. I mean, you're paying with your time. Just looking at this makes me sad, though. Like, this is so lazy. VIP now costs $100 a month. Yes! Holy crap-a-mole. How are you? I'm doing great. What else can we paywall? Oh, I know. Being on the screen costs $5 a minute. What the hell? Why am I getting so many subs today? What the fuck? Waifu milk, thank you. Bex 20 chats for free, then $10 for a refill. Oh yeah, I'll donate while everyone that doesn't pay money, I'd never read your message. You paywall the VIP, I'm leaving the whole show. It's just a joke. Donald Wald for real, yeah. Using chat requires stamina. Yes. You guys are evil, man. Mod only chat. Yeah, nobody gets to talk. Only mods. It'll be the most silent chat ever. Good, my jokes are for the real people, not the stinkers. I am a stinker. Sorry to tell you all. Gosh darn it. But thank you so much, Fusion, and everyone else. I really appreciate it. 2 months already? Holy, what is going on today? Waifu milk. Hi! Thank you so much. What a giga chat. What the hell? Wait. You've never chatted on my channel. That's insane. Mods and VIPs should what? Hold on. Mods and VIPs should be a costly month fee in addition to sub? Yes. So you get a baseline for $50 and then every month you have to pay an extra $5 on top of the sub.
And activities to just keep you busy for no other reason. But let's go into this topic of Baldur's Gate 3 being so unbelievably good that nobody else can make a game this good ever. Please, please, please put some thought into it before you proclaim this is what AAA gaming should be moving forward. 6 years
Refilling
and
my
400...
stamina 2020.
Guys. Microtransaction Twitch streaming. That's what inspired this video. Maybe I should make that into a video. Be like, yeah, so Actman gave me this idea where I should refill my stamina every time someone chats in stream. If nobody refills the stamina, I stop talking. I just stare at the screen like. And then as soon as someone gives me like $1, I'll talk for like 20 seconds. That's evil! Don't stare, Fusion! I'm being serious! You're gonna become an NPC? Oh yeah! That's actually what it is. Yeah, TikTok NPC, except there'll be a Twitch streamer NPC. Scam Lana? Yes, give me your wallet. I need a yacht and a mansion, and a McMansion. Let me read this again though. Please, please, please put some thought into it before you proclaim this as what? This is what AAA should be moving forward. 6 years and 400 plus people with insane funding due to the IP have given BG3 a big boost. It's truly unrealistic to expect this on a regular basis. Who made this fucking bit? Call me Sean MP. Thank you, Gallant DK, thank you. What funding? I mean, account Evolve PR. We promote games, media. Okay. We promote games? So you don't actually make games, you just promote them? My man, this is not the take to have for promoting games. You should be promoting games that put in a lot of effort and stuff. They got some funding from Wizards of the Coast, I think. Yeah, they did, but like what was it? 400 plus people for 6 years. That's not even that many. What did Wu say? It was like 9,000 people for D4? How long did it take to make D4?
Plus people with insane funding due to the IP having given BG3 a big boost. It's truly unrealistic to expect
6
this on a
years as
regular
well,
basis. And then some guy from Larian came out of the woodwork and was like, what funding?
No, it's the opposite. They had to pay Wizards of the Coast for their ability to make the game. Oh, so they had to purchase the IP, so to speak? Like borrow it or whatever? What a Giga Chat! Is that official Larian? Baldur's Gate IP, even the IP that's been dead for since 2000? Yeah, you buy the license, right? They had to buy the rights? Yeah, and they did a great job with it. And now Baldur's Gate is gonna pop off as an IP. Good for them.
Just to be clear, Larian didn't receive funding from Wizards of the Coast to use the Dungeons and Dragons IP. Quite the opposite.
Not many people realize that creating a game based on D&D usually requires obtaining a license. Involves fees, adherence to specific terms. In other words, Larian didn't receive funds from Wizards of the Coast. They paid for the licensing. I didn't even know that. This guy's talking out of his ass. Who is this guy?
Funding. What funding?
Wait. Where's the original tweet? This guy is working for a PR. Talking out of his butt. Insane.
The opposite. They paid a licensing fee to use it. There are like standards and practices they have to follow with this IP. So it's even more encumbering than just making a new game based on an IP they already own.
Yeah, no, I think Divinity 2 was a great stepping stone for them. I personally didn't like how linear the story is, but I think the story overall was really good, and I don't think they did a bad job on it. And I actually think the combat was a lot faster than the 5e rule set, which makes it like a bit more interesting, and the class diversity is a lot cooler too. But again, Baldur's Gate is way more traditional, and I think they did a really good job on it. It's like the Chosen One story. Yeah, I mean, kind of like it's just a little bit, I don't know, I guess cliche in a way, but I don't know. They did a good job regardless. I couldn't really fault them for having an original IP with like the story that they already had from Divinity 1. Hi, Scratic, what's up? You are Dragonborn?
Which makes it even more impressive. Then he goes on to double down after being called out. Clearly funding wasn't the right choice of words here.
This was my PR person, I would fire them, I'm not even gonna lie.
Replace that with budget, knowing that an IP with the legacy of this one is going to sell.
What?
What? What do you... But they didn't get funding. They just make the game with the money they have. Like, what do you mean?
This just perplexes me. Are you talking about the Dungeons and Dragons IP? Because most people associate that with the tabletop board games. Are you talking about the Baldur's Gate IP? Because the last game I heard about Baldur's Gate was Dark Alliance 2 in 2004. I reckon most people
really old.
prior to this hadn't heard of Larian Studios and had never heard of Baldur's Gate before. What's also funny about this tweet and the situation in general is that people are proclaiming this isn't what AAA gaming should be. Yet another game recently came out that also had 6 years of development.
Oh no, don't. What other game had 6 years of development and like over $1 billion put into it? $1 billion. Here it comes! Hi, Florida man. Here we come. Dark Alliance 2 is better than D4. I never played Baldur's Gate games before this, to be fair.
A team 22 times bigger than Larian, with funding from a company that made $7.5 billion last year.
$7.5 billion dues, chat. Wonder what they could do with that money. I don't know. Probably boost profits and cut corners and fire people. Fire 800 employees.
year. And yet nobody is saying that game is creating an unrealistic standard. Why is that? Why is that? If you have the tools, the
Double
people,
standards,
the means, and the
that's
funding,
why.
then you should strive for greatness. I don't understand why people think otherwise. You know, what are they actually thinking? Don't let this become the new standard because
Greed! That's the fucking key word. Milk them employees. No, Tomix, no! They don't do that anymore, right? I'm gonna go sleep, still a bit sick, but I have to work tomorrow. Good night, chat. Good night, Fusion! Thank you. Yeah, no, absolutely. Firing 800 people, which were also a lot of customer service support people, because you're cutting corners to like extrapolate your profits for a quarter. That's totally evil and not cool. But all right.
because we can't make games that good. I think it's pretty clear what the difference in priorities is between like Larian and Blizzard. Blizzard is like trying to make money, and Larian knows they're gonna make money if they just make a good video game. When you're at that level, you don't have to try to make money. Just make a good product. Like a lot of people, I'm deeply excited about what the lovely folks at Larian accomplished, but I want to preemptively push back against players taking that excitement and using it to apply criticism or a raised standard to RPGs going forward.
1 out of 10, by the way. This guy wrote 10 tweets worth of like bullshit for people to just absolutely dump on him.
Wouldn't it be great if Bethesda held this standard to Fallout 76? Wouldn't that have been great? What are you
2.8 score!
trying to say? Stop complaining about AAA game developers that get away with releasing half-baked shitty games? Just accept bad trends and shitty practices amongst the industry? Why wouldn't the best rated PC game of all time not raise the standards? This is not a new baseline for RPGs. This is an anomaly.
This is an anomaly. That's right, because they made a fucking good game that anybody can enjoy. How is that a fucking anomaly, man? Oh yeah, it's an anomaly because our industry's dog shit! I apologize for yelling. I'm sorry. I hate this so much. I hate tweeting this shit, and this is the 7th post out of the 10. 800,000 people play BG3 right now? Really? Let's go. Are we forgetting Witcher 3 also did the same thing as Baldur's Gate, just make good games? Yeah, and I think Witcher 3 also had...
Don't apologize for yelling.
Aw, thank you, Scratic. Thank you. I just get very passionate. I'm sorry. People don't really want to hear me squeaking and squealing. But, like I said, Fallout 76 is just so fucking sad to see because they had the potential of the Fallout IP, which is already really cool and like has a lot of story and lore to it, and they just crapped it up all with microtransactions and weight values and not being able to play the game unless you invest a bunch of money into it. I heard it got better, but still. I went to hear it so I could make fun of it. Shut up! I like how that one PR guy said BG3 had insane funding when Leary to play. Yeah, it's early on in the video here. My friend tried to get me into D4, but I was like, why would I spend money on a shitty Blizzard game when I could spend money on Street Fighter 6? I didn't play Street Fighter 6. Is it good? It's playable now. It got a solid plot. Solid, basically passable. If you have a Game Pass, it's worth trying. I don't have a Game Pass, but I thought about playing it a few weeks ago. Again, it's more of a time issue for me personally, but I am a huge Fallout nerd. Street Fighter 6 is quite fun. Is the online play really laggy? That's my biggest gripe if I don't like have a good time online. The Vet 76 players are super nice. Maybe I should play it. I really do love Fallout. It's like literally one of my favorite franchises of all time. Gaming franchises, I mean.
Anomaly. Trying to do the same thing the same way, especially without the same advantages, could kill an entire group of studios.
Good!
What advantages?
You know what? Call the week. Call the week. I'm sorry, if you make a bad product, you shouldn't be able to sustain yourself. You shouldn't be able to be like, yeah, we can salvage this and then... Okay, I take that back. You know what? the only reason I take that back is because of No Man's Sky. And that's only because they buckled down and then made a new game. But overall, like with how Blizzard has a track record of producing shitty games repeatedly and then making up excuses and people eating up the shit that they have, you know? I think that's unacceptable. For a game like an indie studio like No Man's Sky, I think like me saying that was a little bit too harsh. But overall, you know, Anthem should have been a company killer. Yes! Anthem was fucking horrendous! Absolutely heinous. I'd rather play Coffee Talk than Diablo 4. I would rather play Hello Kitty Island Adventure. What about 2077? But they improved the game, didn't they? I never played Cyberpunk, but I did hear that they improved the game after a while. Conceptually, Anthem was cool. Execution-wise, it was garbage. I watched a video on Anthem. It was really, really badly produced. Again, I think whoever said it was a Bellular that said that the game is good, but the product is bad. Cyberpunk 2077 is really fun now. Yeah, sure, have a redemption arc, but I'm saying like with how many layers of fuck-ups like Blizzard has had over the years, like repeatedly for over half a decade, I don't think there's the excuse of like, yeah, we're too big to fail. Like, you should just fail. Stop. But, you know, we don't live in that world.
The advantage of talent, hard work, foresight, uncorrupted morals. These are the
Bobby.
things Larian has and all these other studios can easily attain. Baldur's Gate 3 is not an anomaly. It didn't just spring out of the ground. This isn't Larian's first game. They've been making top-down RPGs for over 20 years.
Even Divinity 2 was really good, despite all the little flaws and like hiccups of like how the acts carried through. I think the last act was the worst, but at the same time, it wasn't actually that bad. That's just my personal opinion. I'm enjoying Wayfinder right now. Did they make Wayfinder or something?
Larian's first game. They've been making top-down RPGs for over
No, they Divinity 2, Divinity. Oh, so they've been just making their own little franchise. Yeah.
20 years. Baldur's Gate 3 is simply the culmination of all that work, of all they have learned on an engine they've been working on for many, many years. Baldur's Gate 3 is the culmination of a series or genre in the same way that Elden Ring and Smash Bros. Ultimate were. These aren't anomalies. These are really good games made by competent studios with a clear vision that have worked tirelessly to perfect their craft.
Yeah, let's not forget, it took many, many years for them to produce Elden Ring on top of the other freaking Soul-likes that they released. Well, not Soul-likes, the Soul series, I should say. Like, all the flaws combined and all the great stuff produced Elden Ring. And as someone who never played Soul-likes before, I think Elden Ring is still a really great game. Even for someone who's never, ever played that. From Software out there is like, here's another Gucci amazing game. Good. If they don't release something that's good, why even put it out? It's like when I used to bake, I was really bad at baking. I didn't really want to like put out the cake that I made for like my mom, say. Like she was feeling ill and I baked her like a cupcake and the entire batch is ruined. I would just make the new batch of cupcakes or not give it to her at all. Like why are you even putting out the published game if it's not good? Just let it bake or like make a new batch. I know it hurts, like you're crying over the wasted ingredients, but shit.
They are efficient and smart with their work, constantly building upon what they did last. Larian is super familiar with the engine used to make this game. The controls are the same as original Sin 2. So much of the base work was already done years prior. But unlike Divinity Original Sin 2, one of the like craziest advances is that apparently all of the scenes have been mocapped, whereas in Original Sin 2
in Original Sin 2 it was kind of not great to stream because you'd have to kind of, you know, imagine what the characters were doing and stuff half the time. I skipped a lot of dialogue, I'm not gonna lie, I did. I am that kind of person. They would rather tarnish the reputation and make a quick buck than not release the game and take a loss. Well, let it cook. I don't know. Isn't it, like, possible? Just let it stew for a little bit. I think the worst egregious kind of mistake that Blizzard made one time with their expansion release was Shadowlands, and even Shadowlands was just not finished enough during COVID. Even though they delayed the game, they should have delayed it even more, but it was the pressure, the pressure of like, we need to release it now. We're like, we need to make money. Everybody's waiting. And then look at what Shadowlands did to the game. They dropped in their population like drastically to the point where they had to say, okay, we fucked up. They had to like apologize and like try to fix the game. It is possible that not only are the devs like this, but the executives don't want to release something complete. Or wait, but the execs don't want to release something complete to retain the player base. Yeah, they would rather just, you know, have a hype train. Making a game is like baking a cake. You need to pull that shit out while it's still raw. Well, even if it's raw, and they'll pull it out when it's raw and then it doesn't taste good, so they won't even start over, you know? They just don't care. Shadowlands started off strong, but if I remember correctly, I don't know. I'm a veteran, so I could already see the flaws in Shadowlands within like 3 weeks of playing it. With the whole like, oh, you can't change covenants because fuck you, that's why. And then they completely backpedaled on that by the halfway point and said, okay, sorry, we should have done this at the start. It's like, why didn't you fucking listen then? Why couldn't you just do it? It doesn't take that much effort to change shit.
Just had to imagine what characters were doing. Again, it's a pretty funny comparison because that's the same type of storytelling Diablo 4 is doing. And then you look at Baldur's Gate 3 and it's just like, wow. But if you think about it, conceptually...
Spoilers! I wanted to romance Gale at some point, but shit. I was gonna do, you know, the bear sex thing.
Speaking, the older Smash Bros. Characters' movesets are pretty solid, and most of them didn't need any massive overhauls when it came time to make Ultimate. But you get what I'm saying, these studios work smarter. They don't settle for re-releasing the same game every year or tearing down the foundation and rebuilding it every 3 years. So that's why these games seem so impressive, because to a lot of people, they haven't played Larian games. They haven't experienced these mechanics before. So it feels like it comes out of nowhere. I can't disagree with this one more. Whenever a game disrupts the industry and delights players beyond expectations, it absolutely raises industry and genre standards regardless of the why and how. Well,
good! Base take! Good on you, Juno. I think that was their name. Juno Bleeze. Good. Here comes my usual hot take. This isn't even a hot take! This is just standard practice.
It absolutely raises industry and genre standards regardless of the why and how. Well said. We should celebrate landmark titles like this. Greed often breeds complacency, and once the profits start rolling in, you really see people's true nature. Do they want to do as little work as possible for the maximum amount of money? Do they still have the same passion? Does a guy with 1 million subs still have the same passion for his craft as a guy with 1,000? You know what?
I think that's depends on the person, but again, greed can do that to you. I think the biggest takeaway from what he just said was, you know, the complacency of being successful, and when your game is like, you know, developing and it's your first game, it's hard to like breed the creativity that used to be in your game when it was like flawed and the engine was old and you had to like make compromises, and maybe you had only one voice actor instead of like 20, and that one voice actor had to be really good, and now you have 20 because you have like $20 billion and they're just not as like lively as the first person that came in and did the first game. It's just really hard, you know? I don't know how people can upkeep, like, how do I say this? How do they upkeep the momentum that they have without selling out, you know? Like, Halo used to be a great franchise, and now they're falling from grace. Will Valerian fall into the same pitfall? I don't know. it's scary to think about. That would really like break people's hearts. Is it just inevitable? Is it? I don't know. I really hope not. It's the ebb and flow of every studio, to be honest. That's very sad. Larian is still privately owned. I hope it stays that way, you know? But Bungie's also killing D2, so... yeah, Bungie is killing Destiny, so I don't know. Who do we trust? Considering that you refused Microsoft's offer a buyout, I still have hope for them. Yeah, that's a really good indicator, actually. You've got a point there. CEO said he's not interested in selling the studio. I hope it stays that way. Again, it's just time will tell. Blizzard used to be a tiny little fucking company, and then they merged together with others. Then they got out by Activision. Then it started really crumbling. Yeah, they wanted to remain indie, but time will tell. Hopefully he doesn't need a yacht or something.
But I mean, Larian serves as a very good example to other developers, I would say. This is a great thread about why using a singular game to set expectations for everyone developing titles in a genre isn't useful and is instead foolhardy.
What did I just read? Did you show this at the start? It's a great thread about why using a singular game to set... I can't, man! I had to reread that because I thought it just hurt my brain. How could you say that? Why can't you keep the standard for different games? It doesn't have to be the same genre. Oh, it hurts. How could you say that? Pirate Poems. I don't even want to look up this person's thing because I know it's gonna piss me off. You don't use the entire game as a standard, but elements. Exactly! You don't have to take, like, oh, every game needs to have amazing graphics. Why don't you just have good story writing, good combat, and then maybe, like, amazing music? You don't need, like, cinematic, like, stuff like Baldur's Gate at every cutscene. That's just a choice they made.
Expectations for everyone developing titles in a genre isn't useful and is instead foolhardy. This is one of those statements that like 5 years from now is going to be looked back on as really fucking stupid. It's going to be looked back on
well,
as
it's already
those
stupid
people,
now.
when cars were first coming out, they were like, cars aren't going to replace horses. That's foolhardy. People that...
That's true. People actually did say that. And TVs too. They were like, TVs are so bad. Why would you ever fucking watch TVs? You can just go to the theater and it's real life and it's so much better. And then TV is just absolutely owned.
That cling to the old ways when something objectively better comes along, right? You could probably say the same thing about Mario 64 when that came out and revolutionized 3D games and platformers. I'm sure there was a bunch of people back then saying, well Mario 64 is an anomaly. You can't expect other studios to be able to accomplish this. You can't apply this standard to other platformers. It's not fair.
It's not fair. I have to work even harder to keep up with the evolution of video games. Oh no. I get these devs work hard, but all the devs are saying stuff like that's just making me not want to get their game. Well, it's funny because the people that are complaining, I think I brought them up, they aren't even devs. This guy is a writer for Stranger Things VR. It's not a fucking developer. And this guy is a PR person. He doesn't develop the games. I don't know who this person is, obviously, the one that was in the tweet before that, but I'd like to think that it's just people who don't know what they're talking about. Maybe? That's why they speak a lot, I guess. Yeah, PR people tend to talk a lot.
It's not fair at all.
Here's the thing, right? Wouldn't a company or a person genuinely passionate about their craft want to compete with Baldur's Gate? Competition breeds improvement. It creates better products and we all win in the end. Complacency seems to be what some of these devs are advocating for, or at the very...
The one or two devs they were quoting were talking about how they shouldn't be expecting every RPG game studio to make games on the scale of BG3 because not every studio has the time, effort, or manpower to pull it off, which is a perfectly reasonable thing to say, by the way. They're not devs! Or at least, I don't know, I haven't read the article, but the people that were... they were tweeting. It's not a reasonable thing to say, sorry. It's not an excuse.
very least admitting they work for a studio that doesn't prioritize making good products as much as they should. I get what they're trying to say though, right? Don't expect every quarterback to be as good as Tom Brady, but every quarterback should try to be as good as Tom Brady.
Study Tom Brady. Watch what he's doing. Pass the ball like Tom Brady. I don't fucking play football, but you know, like, just study them. Aspire to be as good as him. Why is that such a hard concept for people to grasp? It's crazy to me. Like, when I was really into World of Warcraft and I was like really into PvP, I always tried to be as good as other feral droids. I might have not as been even close as good as them, not even like by a minute fraction, but I aspired to be like them because they were cool. They knew what they were doing. Sometimes I could pull off what they did, and that was like once in a blue moon, and that felt really good for me. Why is that like a bad feeling to have? Like, you're beneath someone. Why can't you just look up to someone? Maybe people just forgot what it's like to look up to someone. I don't know. Psychology, I guess. AAA studios do have the money, time, and manpower, so why wouldn't they want to make games with the same level of polish as BG3? It's a variety of factors. I don't know if I can go into them without making another like 15-minute rant, but the fact that it's 9,000 people working on Diablo 4 and they're all from like different parts of Blizzard, which makes it really hard to communicate. Like, imagine having to do one singular change in the game and you have to email like 50 people, if that, maybe even more, to try and change something. I know it's not an excuse, but it's kind of how bigger companies work like that. That's why I think smaller companies who have the time and the dedication is just healthier, I guess. Everyone had their own little nook in D4. Yeah, imagine email and like CCing and forwarding a bunch of emails explaining shit to everyone. Like, hey, we need to change this. All right, I need to email Tom, fucking Jade, and Bradley. It's crazy.
I don't know a single game dev who has conveyed this sentiment about BG3. Instead, I've heard devs ask folks not to use the great things achieved by this team as a weapon to use against other devs. Now, this is the actual argument I think some of them are trying to present, right? Remember how obnoxious the PlayStation fanboys would get when they compared every video game ever made to The Last of Us 2? Yeah, nobody should be doing that with Baldur's Gate 3. The one or two devs they were quoting were talking about how you shouldn't be expecting every RPG studio to be making games on the scale of BG3 because not every studio has the time, effort, or manpower. Yes, but some studios do have the time and manpower. They just don't
do it because it doesn't make as much money for them and it's less effort. It's crazy to me that these people have excuses for everything.
Put in the effort. Nobody is saying Johnny game developer and his two college dorm roommates should make a 100-hour masterpiece RPG as their first game. Nobody's saying that. I don't think people are saying that BG3 is the new standard, but rather it should raise everybody else's standards because a lot of other developers really fucking down in the ground, man. CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk, Fallout 76, Bethesda. This is why Starfield has such high expectations behind
I really don't know if Starfield's gonna be any good. I'm not. I'll be very pleasantly surprised if Starfield is good. But I've already heard through the grapevine and from like beta testing and whatnot, like game journalist reviews. Granted, we shouldn't take game journalism, you know, to like, you have to take it with a grain of salt, but there were some issues already about like microtransactions, I think, if I remember correctly. Starfield looks great. Looks. Exactly. Apparently running amazingly with minimal bugs. I hope you're right, Apple. Also free on Game Pass. Okay. I mean, if Game Pass is not free, but it is something. I have a bet with friends whether Starfield will flop in a month. Oh. Well, I hope you win.
and why it will be such a disappointment if that game turns out to be a glitchy, bug-ridden disaster. So many of these other companies have the exact same tools and resources at their disposal at
if not more. Keep in mind, if not more than Larian.
They just make terrible products. So yeah, this is what AAA studios should strive to achieve. And it's fine if they don't. But if they try, then they'll probably make a good RPG. Cyberpunk is a prime example of why everyone's standards should be higher. It's a wake-up call for a lot of these other developers, I hope. Larian has had such an underdog story.
Didn't Cyberpunk come out during COVID and they had a lot of issues with that? Like, granted, again, I'm not saying it's an excuse, but, you know, I think it was a big ass factor. I had massive issues. Yeah, I know it's like rough, and I did criticize Blizzard with like Shadowlands and stuff, but again, I feel like that was like they should have just let it bake in the oven. 10th December 2020. Yeah. This was development for years after that. Well, they develop up until the point of shipping. Don't get me wrong. They also split the team, I heard, with Witcher 4 and Cyberpunk. Oh, see? Oh. Wait, is CD Projekt Red still like its own company, or is it like a subsidiary of a bigger one? I don't know how that I don't know how that company functions. It's its own company. It's still independent. I just don't know. I know that Cyberpunk was just so. Ugh. Who is Baldur's Game? Are there 3 of them? I don't know, man. Watch this video and find out. We'll be playing it later. Devs just got rushed to push out something unfinished. Yeah, corporate greed, I guess. But then again, wouldn't say that Project Red is greedy, because they did make Witcher 3, and Witcher 3 is awesome. I played through all of it and the DLCs. The executive came out too early. It should have been delayed again. Yeah, but for how long? They got drunk with that Witcher 3 money? Maybe. I wouldn't speculate. I don't know, but
Story that like it's so cathartic to see them succeed, because 10 years ago they were raising funds for Divinity Original Sin 3.
oh yeah, I remember seeing this. This was like years and years ago. Like, it was like 8 years ago.
Through a Kickstarter program.
Yeah.
This is a studio that risked bankruptcy in the name of quality. So at the end of the day, I
Blizzard
think a lot of
did
gamers
too.
have also woken up when they see what we've been missing for a long time, or at least what has
Hardships breed, what is it? Like, hard times breed make good men, and good times fuck. I don't, I can never say it right. Like, hard times make strong men, and strong men. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, dude. I'd have to look it up. Strong breed hard time. Brain for a moment. Shut up. Oh my god, let me say it right, please. I gotta do Ackman justice. Good times. Big. Strong men. Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Dude, I can never say this one right, no matter how many times. That is the same cycle as like having to pull through a fucking shitty engine and having to compromise, like in Resident Evil 4 at the time in 2001 or some shit. Yeah. Are we the weak men generation? I don't know. I think so. Bastion, thank you. It's Bald's in-game, yes. Things are pretty tough.
become so rare in the industry. A game released by a studio that has no intentions of selling you something beyond that initial purchase. A game that works and is complete at launch. Baldur's Gate 3 is just an amazing game, and we should all be celebrating it. It is the prince who was promised, and hopefully it sends shockwaves across the industry. Should we compare every new RPG that comes out to Baldur's Gate 3?
Nope, should not. Aspire. Improve. Adapt. Overcome. Come!
Probably not. Let's hope every new RPG in the AAA space tries to be as good, and that those companies try to be as pro-consumer as Larian. But thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe to the Act Man for more awesome content.
Subscribe.
Don't forget to order your Air Up water bottle using my link in the description and pinned comment. Use code ACTMAN for 15% off. All right, everyone, that's all I got for today. This is the Act Man signing out.
Yay!
Peace.
Stinkman! We love Stinkman.
What's up, everybody?
Stinkman! Everybody, subscribe. Please. Great video, great insight. I refuse, you can't make me. I will suffocate you with my tail if you don't subscribe to Mr. Actman. Do it right now. Millennials weeded out the week. Wait, what? What did you say? Hold on, what? Millennials weeded out the week with the cinnamon challenge? We weeded them out. The Twitch equivalent of would be to hydrate? Dude, I need to grab some water too. Will you smother me with tail if I do sub? Yes. I will kill you. And then you will never sub again because I killed you. I took your wallet. Anyway, you guys, great video. Big clap.